In the heart of West Texas, where the wind cuts like a knife and fortunes rise and fall with the flick of a pen, Tommy Norris is finally standing on land that belongs to him. But ownership isn't safety. Every deal comes with a shadow, every handshake hides a threat, and the past refuses to stay buried. In Season 3, the stakes aren't just business, they're life, legacy, and family. This is the story of a man who bet everything on himself, only to discover that the universe has a cruel way of testing the strongest among us. Tommy Norris isn't just fighting for CTT oil exploration and cattle, he's fighting to keep the people he loves alive, and to survive the darkness that's closing in from all sides. Tommy Norris stands at the edge of his property, the sun low on the horizon, casting long shadows across the land he's fought to claim. For the first time, the wind seems to carry a whisper of peace, but Tommy knows better. He's learned the hard truth over the last 2 seasons. Every moment of hope is fleeting, every victory temporary, and every step forward comes with a cost he can't yet see. His sons, Cooper and TL, walk behind him, their steps deliberate, echoing a mix of pride and caution. Tommy sees something in their eyes, a hunger to protect, to contribute, to carry the legacy forward, but he also sees the weight of responsibility pressing down on them, the kind of weight that could crush a person faster than any enemy ever could. The trailer gives no quarter. It shows us Tommy making decisions that feel small in the moment, but carry consequences that could ripple for years. There's a sense of strategy in his movements, the way he looks at the land, the way he measures risks with a cold precision that's become second nature. This isn't reckless ambition, it's calculated survival. Every handshake, every signature, every conversation in the offices or on drilling sites is a move in a game where the board is alive and the pieces fight back. Tommy isn't naive. He understands the players he's facing, but even knowing the stakes doesn't make the game any easier. Behind him, Cooper struggles with his own path. He's gifted, instinctive, but too often that gift feels like a curse because it makes him valuable to the wrong people. He's learning that power and talent are dangerous, that every opportunity carries a hidden price, and that sometimes survival demands sacrifices that crush the heart. TL, steady and loyal, is learning the same lesson in his own way. There's a quiet understanding between father and sons, a bond forged in trials and hardship. But the trailer never lets us forget that family loyalty, as strong as it is, isn't armor. It's a vulnerability. And looming over them is the invisible hand of threat, the shadow of the past that refuses to be ignored. Galino remains an ever-present reminder that favors are never free and debts always collect. His presence in the trailer is subtle but devastating, an unreadable expression, a calm demeanor, a patience that terrifies more than anger ever could. Galino's patience is a weapon, and Tommy knows it. The trailer shows fleeting moments where father and son are caught in situations too large for them, where danger lurks in the conversations, in the negotiations, in the calculated smiles of those who pretend to be allies. The tension is a slow burn, an almost unbearable sense of pressure that builds with every frame. Tommy's own emotional journey is center stage. For the first time, he allows himself the luxury of fleeting hope, standing on land that represents not just money or power, but legacy, family, and choice. But even as he looks out at the horizon, there's the weight of knowledge in his eyes, the awareness that nothing lasts, that every victory can be taken away in an instant, and that the larger his dreams, the harder the fall will be. The trailer emphasizes this duality, hope and fear, pride and dread, ambition and consequence. Every visual, every gesture, every frame carries the tension of a man who knows the stakes are life itself, yet chooses to face them anyway. The story doesn't shy away from complexity. Cammy's presence looms as another threat. Going to assist? Not an enemy from outside, but a force shaped by history, ambition, and unresolved emotion. She's still running Mtex, still fighting to prove herself, still navigating the same treacherous world Tommy left. The trailer hints at the collision course between their ambitions, their loyalties, and their hearts. One wrong move, one miscalculation, could devastate everything. The emotional stakes are just as high as the business stakes, and the trailer makes it clear. In Season 3, there are no easy choices, no simple victories, and no safe ground. Through it all, the trailer masterfully blends tension and intimacy, We see Tommy's face in fleeting moments of peace, almost content, almost proud, but always aware that the next storm is never far. Cooper's struggle to navigate a world where talent is leverage is visible in his every action. TL's loyalty is a quiet anchor, but even anchors can be dragged under. Galino and Cammy exist as mirrors of the consequences of past decisions, looming shadows that test Tommy's ability to build something lasting. Every frame breathes life into a world where the line between survival and destruction is razor thin, and where the cost of hope is measured in heartbreak, risk, and blood. Season 3 promises not just suspense, but an emotional resonance that makes every decision, every betrayal, and every act of loyalty matter. The trailer sets the stage for a story where family, ambition, and power collide, and where the smallest choice can determine the difference between survival and ruin. Tommy Norris isn't just facing external threats. He's facing the consequences of his own decisions, the fragility of relationships, and the relentless testing of his will and his heart. The land he's fought to claim is more than property. It's a battleground where every emotion, every choice, and every relationship will be tested. And standing on that land, Tommy knows that the only way forward is through the storm, even if it could break him completely. The sun rises slowly over the Texas plains, but the light brings no comfort. Tommy Norris is awake before it touches the horizon, pacing the edges of CTT oil, exploration, and cattle, like a man walking on a blade. He knows that every opportunity carries a hidden threat, that every handshake conceals leverage waiting to be pulled at the wrong moment. Cooper watches him, sensing the weight on his father's shoulders, sensing the quiet storm brewing just out of sight. TL stands slightly behind them both, the calm center in a world spinning toward chaos, but even he cannot stop the tremors that ripple through their lives. Season 3 doesn't waste time. From the first moments, it throws Tommy into the middle of challenges that test everything he has worked to build. The trailer shows us a series of meetings and negotiations, each one a chess move in a game where the rules are invisible and the consequences are fatal. Contracts are signed with a handshake, but that handshake carries the potential to destroy families, empires, and legacies. And Tommy knows this better than anyone. Every action is deliberate, every decision measured, yet the pressure never lifts. It's not just the business that threatens him, it's the people around him, people he trusts, people he loves, who are themselves navigating their own desires and ambitions. Galino is the ever-present shadow in this season, a reminder that the past never truly dies. The trailer captures him in moments of quiet control, watching, calculating, smiling just enough to make you feel calm before realizing the danger is inescapable. Galino doesn't yell, doesn't threaten, he waits. And when he acts, it's precise, devastating, and unstoppable. Tommy knows that one wrong move around Galino could unravel everything, yet the need for his resources, money, connections, influence is unavoidable. The tension between need and risk is palpable in every frame. Cooper feels it too. The trailer hints at the strain growing between father and son as Cooper begins to understand the cost of being valuable. Being gifted isn't a blessing here. It's a chain, a lever others pull to bend him to their will. Cammy's presence amplifies the stakes in ways that hit Tommy where he is weakest, the heart. The trailer doesn't show them together often, but every brief shot carries the weight of history. They occupy the same spaces, breathe the same air, but their paths have diverged. Where Tommy fights to build something lasting with his sons, Cammy fights to prove she can survive, in a world where she is constantly underestimated. Her focus is steel, but the trailer hints at cracks, moments where doubt and fear creep in, moments where she realizes that controlling Mtex comes with costs she hadn't fully anticipated. One decision, one misstep, and everything she has sacrificed, everything she gave up for independence and pride, could collapse. The tension between Tommy and Cammy is more than business. It's history, it's emotion, it's unfinished conversations, and unresolved regret. The trailer captures these moments in silent glances, in spaces shared but unspoken, in the weight of presence and absence. They are no longer partners, but their fates remain intertwined. Cammy's offshore rig represents more than profit. It represents survival, proof of capability, and the danger of pride. And Tommy knows that if it fails, he might not only have to watch her fall, but he might be forced to intervene, risking everything he is building with Cooper and TL. The trailer frames these stakes like a high-wire act. One slip, one error, one misjudgment, and the fallout could destroy more than just companies. It could shatter families and legacies. Meanwhile, the land itself looms as both promise and peril. Tommy walks across it, measuring, observing, imagining the possibilities, but always with a shadow in his mind. The soil he owns is a battlefield in itself. Drilling, exploration, and cattle operations are not just business. They are survival exercises under the scrutiny of competitors, regulators, and the ever-looming threat of Galino. Every plot of earth, every lease, every contract carries with it the potential for betrayal, the kind that doesn't announce itself until it's too late. And yet, despite knowing all this, Tommy moves forward. He acts. He bets on himself. That determination is the fire that drives the narrative, the heartbeat behind the suspense, the source of both hope and fear. The trailer expertly intertwines personal stakes with professional ones. Cooper is thrust into situations where talent becomes liability, where instinct can save or condemn. TL provides grounding, but the tension between ambition and loyalty is palpable in his every movement. The presence of Galino is a constant reminder that the past cannot be escaped, that debts always come due, that favors carry weight far beyond what the eye can see. And Cammy, relentless and proud, demonstrates that ambition without foresight can be just as dangerous as any external threat. What makes Section 2 of the trailer so compelling is the emotional layering. We see Tommy not just as a businessman or a father, but as a man aware of the fragility of every relationship around him. Every decision is a balancing act between protection and risk, love and pride, ambition and caution. The visuals hint at moments of near triumph, but the shadow of consequence lingers over every win. The stakes escalate as the season promises that for Tommy, the world isn't just closing in. It's testing the very foundations of his family, his loyalty, and his legacy. Even the moments that seem calm are deceptive. A quiet office conversation, a glance across a conference room, a late-night walk on the property, all are charged with tension. Every frame whispers danger, every interaction carries weight, every choice could become a turning point. Tommy's journey in Season 3 is less about finding easy victories and more about surviving a world designed to punish success. And that is the essence of the trailer. A narrative built on suspense, emotional resonance, and the terrifying beauty of stakes that touch every part of a man's life. The trailer closes Section 2 with a lingering shot of Tommy watching the horizon, a man aware that threats are not only external, but internal. He must navigate family loyalty, personal ambition, and corporate warfare all at once. Cooper's eyes reflect curiosity, fear, and determination, while TEL remains the silent strength that anchors them. Galino and Cammy hover as dual forces of risk, each representing consequences Tommy cannot ignore. The tension is taut, the stakes are sky-high, and the viewer is left with the urgent question: how far can Tommy Norris go to protect what matters, and what will he sacrifice when the cost is finally demanded? The horizon darkens as Tommy Norris stands on the edge of his property, the wind carrying whispers of threats both old and new. Season 3 doesn't let him breathe easy. The trailer shows us a man at the crossroads of his life, where every choice ripples outward in ways he can't always control. He's no longer just a survivor. He's a man who must anticipate danger, outmaneuver those who seek to use him, and protect the fragile empire he's beginning to build. And yet, the past never sleeps. Galino is the shadow that refuses to leave. He's calm, collected, and terrifying in his patience. The trailer frames him in moments of subtle menace. A quiet phone call, a measured gesture, a glance that communicates volumes without words. He doesn't need to shout. The quiet is enough to make Tommy and the audience understand that the stakes are deadly serious. Every favor owed, every debt accumulated, every decision Tommy made in seasons past is now being leveraged. Galino's presence is a reminder that the world of Landman isn't just harsh. It's unforgiving. One misstep and the consequences cascade, touching family, business, and life itself. Cooper is learning this the hard way. The trailer shows him in situations that test his instincts, his judgment, and his loyalty. Talent and courage make him valuable, But in this world, value is a double-edged sword. Allies and enemies blur, trust is rare, and every action has hidden cost. There are moments where Cooper faces choices too big for him, decisions that will shape not just his own life, but the future of the family empire. Watching him navigate these pressures, the viewer senses the weight of generational responsibility pressing down, a burden he didn't ask for, but cannot escape. Meanwhile, TL remains the silent pillar, steady and loyal. His presence grounds the family, but even his loyalty is tested. The trailer hints at cracks forming in relationships as ambitions clash and dangers multiply. TL's calm exterior masks the fear that even the strongest can't always shield the ones they love from the forces closing in around them. Cammy reemerges as the dual threat, both professional and personal. She's not just running Mtex, she's fighting to prove her own strength, to survive, and to validate decisions that severed her ties with Tommy. The trailer shows her in moments of exhaustion, staring at reports or charts, the weight of risk evident in every line of her face. One miscalculation could destroy not only her company, but also the tenuous relationship with Tommy that still lingers beneath the surface. Their interactions are charged with history, glances that carry old love, regrets, and unresolved tension. Every shared space feels like a battlefield where emotions and ambition clash, leaving scars that may never fully heal. The trailer carefully weaves together professional and personal stakes, showing that in Landman, one cannot survive without facing both. Tommy's fight isn't just for land, contracts, or profit. It's for his family, his sons, and the future they hope to build together. Every frame emphasizes that the world they inhabit is ruthless. Rivals wait to exploit any weakness. Debts are enforced with cold precision, and loyalty is fragile. Even victories carry the seeds of danger, and every gain is tempered by the knowledge that the next collapse could come at any moment. Section 3 also deepens the emotional intensity of the story. Tommy's fleeting moments of peace are constantly shadowed by doubt and fear. He looks at his sons with pride, yet the weight of what could happen to them never leaves his eyes. Cooper and TL are growing into their roles, but the trailer makes it clear that growth comes at a price. Mistakes here are not forgiven. They are weaponized. And with Galino and Cammy operating on separate but intersecting planes of influence, Tommy must navigate a minefield where every move is calculated, yet unpredictability lurks around every corner. The tension escalates further as the trailer shows glimpses of high-stakes negotiations, drilling operations, and corporate maneuvering. Contracts are signed, deals are made, but trust is scarce. Every handshake carries risk. Every conversation could contain betrayal. The viewer feels the pulse of danger in every scene, a relentless reminder that Tommy is building his empire in a world designed to crush ambition. And yet, through all the chaos, the trailer emphasizes one undeniable truth. Tommy is committed. He's chosen to risk everything for his family, for his sons, for a chance to build something lasting. That determination drives the suspense, keeping the audience on edge because while Tommy's courage is admirable, it also makes him vulnerable. The higher he rises, the more exposed he becomes, and Season 3 promises that the tests of loyalty, love, and legacy will come faster and harder than ever before. The trailer's Section 3 closes on a series of lingering shots that crystallize the season's central tension. Tommy stands on his land, surveying the horizon, a man acutely aware that threats come from all directions. Cooper faces challenges that could define his future. TL maintains his loyalty even as it is tested. Cammy's ambition pushes her to the brink, forcing choices that could devastate both business and personal lives. Galino waits patiently, a reminder that no past action escapes consequence. The collision of ambition, loyalty, love, and danger is inevitable, and the audience is left gripping the edge of their seat, knowing that what comes next will change everything.